Good morning, dear students. Myself Sachin S. Pawar, and I welcome you to my fifth video on Unit 13 Hydrocarbons. In this video, we shall cover up the points which are visible on your screen. So, without wasting our time, let us begin our today's session. Okay, aromatic hydrocarbons. As you are well aware of it, those are the compounds. Either they are benzenoid or non-benzenoid. They are benzenoid or non-benzenoid, and you know that in your lower standards you have learned that those have a typical smell, and we have plenty of examples for this. We have learned now few examples. If I want to give, then I can say benzene, toluene, naphthalene, anthracene, and so on. As far as one important thing is concerned, when we have got di-substituted benzenes, if I take here dibromobenzene, if I just take for example dibromobenzene, then you should know that only three types of structures are possible. One is called as ortho dibromobenzene, para dibromobenzene, and meta dibromobenzene. Ortho dibromobenzene is the dibromobenzene where on benzene ring the two halogen atoms, that is two substituents, are at adjacent carbon atom. They are on adjacent carbon atom. Then you can call it as ortho. We can call it as ortho. So this can be on adjacent carbon atom, means any two adjacent carbon atoms. Adjacent carbon atoms. Para means the one where the two halogen atoms or the two functional groups are on the opposite carbon atoms. Then it is called as para. And meta means the one where the two functional groups are at carbon atoms which are bifurcated by one carbon atom. That is, leaving one carbon atom, the two carbon atoms are substituted. Then it is called as meta position. And only such three products are possible: ortho, para, and meta. Okay, so these are accepted in IUPAC nomenclature as well: ortho, para, and meta. They can be short formed as O dash, P dash, and M dash. Okay, so these are the examples of aromatic hydrocarbons. So let's begin our today's session: aromaticity and Huckel's rule. Okay, the question comes: how to decide whether the compound is aromatic or not? Now when I ask you this question, immediately you will say yes, we have learnt in our lower standard that a typical smell, aroma smell, if it is there, the compound is aromatic. Somebody may say if there is a benzene ring in the compound, then it is aromatic. But we have learnt benzenoid and non-benzenoid types of aromatic hydrocarbons, and by considering that, if you want to know exactly whether the compound is aromatic or not, then we have to go for applying a rule. That rule is known as Huckel's rule. This rule will confirm whether the compound is aromatic or not. For this, we have to check whether the compound is planar. That can be easily be understood if you know the hybridization. If you know the hybridization of every atom in the structure, you can easily say, for example, sp3 hybridization means tetrahedral, sp2 hybridization means trigonal planar, sp hybridization means linear. So you will come to know immediately based on hybridization. You also have to see whether there is a complete delocalization of pi electrons. Complete delocalization of pi electrons can be easily be uncertain if you know the mesomeric effect from the previous unit of PUC first year. For that, you should know the compound should have either alternate single bond double bond, single bond, double bond, and so on, or there should be at least one double bond which should be attached to an atom with a lone pair of electrons. Then we can say that it is having delocalization. Okay, and the last rule is that it should fit into a formula 4n plus 2 pi electrons. It should fit into the formula 4n plus 2 pi electrons. That means it should have, the ring should have 4n plus 2 pi electrons. The ring should have 4n plus 2 pi electrons. How to identify that? That we shall see, where n is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's an integer. N is simply an integer. Okay, let's see, we'll try to find out some examples given in your text to identify whether the compound is justify whether the compound is aromatic or not. Right, if you just check benzene, formula of benzene, we write it as this, naphthalene is like this, and anthracene is like this. So first we have to check whether they are planar or not. So you see each carbon atom, if I number it, if I number these carbon atoms, okay, I will not number the carbons. Okay, so first we have to check whether it is planar, whether the ring is planar or not, whether the rings are planar. So for this, you see each carbon atom is having a double bond, means every carbon atom is sp2 hybridized. sp2 hybridized. Every carbon atom is sp2 hybridized. Here also sp2 hybridized, means in all three examples the structure is sp2 every carbon atom is sp2 hybridized, means structure is planar. So condition number 1 is satisfied. Condition number 2 is that whether there is delocalization or not. So if you just see, there is double bond, single bond, double bond, single bond, double bond, double bond, single bond, double bond, single bond, double bond, that is alternate double bond, single bond, double bond, single bond are there. That means there is delocalization of pi electrons. Okay, lastly we have to check the number of pi electrons present in it. Okay, so if you just see, then every pi bond corresponds to 2 electrons. So here we have got 1, 2 and 3 pi bonds. So 3 pi bonds means into 2, if I say 6 pi electrons. If you check here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so 5 pi electrons are there, 5 pi bonds are there. Into 2, if I say, it is 10 pi electrons. And here if you check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so 7 pi into 2, that is 14 pi electrons are there. So now we have to see whether they fit into the formula 4n plus 2 or not. Now 6 pi electrons can be written as 4 into 2 plus 2 pi. 4 into 2 plus 2, that is n is equal to 4 into 1. 4 into 1. 4 into 1 is 4 plus 2 6. So n is equal to 1. It fits into the formula 4n plus 2 pi. Fits into the formula 4n plus 2 pi. So benzene is aromatic. Check out this 10 pi. I can write it as 4 into 2, 8 plus 2. So also, so here it fits into the formula 4n plus 2 pi. 4n plus 2 pi electrons. It fits into this formula. It fits into this formula where here n is equal to 2. And as far as this is concerned, then 14 means 4 into I'll take 4. No, I'll take 3. 4 into 3 is 12 plus 2 pi electrons. So just see n is equal to 3 here. So it so all these three fit into the formula 4n plus 2 pi, and they satisfy all the three rules. Therefore benzene, naphthalene and anthracene, all three are aromatic. Let us apply for let us see one example, non-benzenoid compound. Okay, so this is an example, cyclopentadiene. dinyl anion. So cyclopentane pentane ring is there, and we have a two double bonds, so it is dine. And anion, because this carbon atom which is shown where the cursor is there, it has a two lone pair of electrons, therefore it is negative anion. Okay, now whether it is planar. Now anionic carbon is sp2 hybridized, double bonds are doubly bonded carbon atoms are sp2 hybridized, so every carbon atom is sp2 hybridized, means structure is planar. Condition 1 is satisfied. Condition 2, a doubly bonded carbon atom is attached to an atom with a lone pair of electron, and there is a delocalization, therefore there is delocalization of pi electrons. Third, how many electrons are there, we have to count. So there are two pi bonds, so 2 pi bonds means into 2, that is 4, plus 2 electrons of the anion, that is total 6 electrons in the ring, and these 6 electrons in the ring can be written as 4 into 2 1 plus 2. So this fits into the formula 4n plus 2 pi electrons, where n is equal to 1, and therefore I can say this is aromatic. It is aromatic. So cyclopentadiene is aromatic because it satisfies rule number 1, 2, 3 of Huckel's rule. Right. This is regarding Huckel's rule and aromaticity of aromatic compounds. With this, let's move on to the next aspect now, the Kekule structure of benzene. Okay, Kekule structure of benzene. How this structure of benzene is arrived, that we shall see in this particular session. When I say Kekule structure of benzene, we are actually going for structural elucidation of benzene. Structural elucidation. Structural elucidation means exactly how the structure is arrived. Now whenever we want to arrive at a structure of a particular compound, then there are steps. First step is you go for elementary analysis. Elementary analysis means you go for detection of element, we known as qualitative analysis, and quantitative analysis, and we determine the elements present in the compound. Which elements are present in the compound, that is first identified. From this, then we go to the next step, that is called as quantitative analysis, organic estimations, where you find out the percentage of every element present in the compound. Percentage of every element present in the compound, that is determined. After that, you go for molecular mass determination, so you determine the molecular mass of the compound. So elementary analysis will give you which elements are present in the compounds and the percentage of every element present in the compound, and then molecular mass determination will give you the molecular mass of the compound. Based on these two, you can write out the empirical formula of the compound and also the molecular formula of the compound. So here, based on elementary analysis and molecular mass determination, it gave the molecular formula of benzene as C6H6. That is, it consists of 6 carbon atoms and 6 hydrogen atoms in the ring. For this is the analysis. Okay, now when you say C6H6, immediately a picture comes into mind that yes, it's a compound of only carbon and hydrogen, therefore it may be alkane. So if you want to check whether it is alkane or not, so when I want to check whether it is alkane or not, then I have to just simply compare it with alkane. The corresponding alkane, if I just take the corresponding alkane, if I take corresponding alkane that is containing 6 carbon atoms, then it is C6. Alkane is CnH2n plus 2, so C6H 6 into 2 is 2, 6 into 2 is 12 plus 2, that is 14. And if you just check, this benzene has 8 hydrogen atoms less than the corresponding alkane, that is I will just write the name hexane. 8 hydrogen atoms are less than the corresponding hexane. So here it reveals that it is not alkane. It is not alkane. Okay. I'll just clean this out. Okay, if it is not alkane, if it is not hexane, then immediately a picture will come in your mind that yes, it may be alkene, or it may be alkyne. It may be alkene or alkyne. It may have a double bonds and triple bonds. To check that, we have what we known as bromine water test and Bayer's test. It will check whether the compound is having double bonds or triple bonds or not, unsaturation. But when you carry out bromine water test and Bayer's test for benzene is found to not to decolorize. Do not decolorize bromine water and Bayer's reagent. So this indicates that it is not alkene alkyne, because alkene and alkynes are, that you have learnt in the reactions of alkenes and alkynes, that alkenes and alkynes should undergo reaction with bromine water and Bayer's reagent. The bromine is brown in color, it should decolorize. Bayer's reagent is KMnO4, which is a pink colored solution, that should decolorize if the compound is alkene or alkyne. But it is neither. So this indicates that benzene is neither alkene nor alkyne. It is more stable than alkenes and alkynes. It is more stable than alkene and alkyne. This is the observation which comes out from the bromine water test and Bayer's test. With this, so these were the preliminary tests which were done, or a preliminary analysis were done in the structural elucidation. Based on this, what Kekule did is, he proposed a ring structure for benzene. And that ring structure of benzene proposed is like this. We have a 6-membered ring, okay, and there are alternate double bonds, single bond, double bond, and every carbon atom is attached to hydrogen atom, and this is the structure, the Kekule proposed structure of benzene. And if I want to number it, he numbered it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6-membered hexagonal ring with alternate double bond and single bond is a proposed structure for benzene by Kekule. But when this structure was proposed to the scientist community, they objected and they put objections. The two objections were the major objections which were to be overruled before accepting this structure. Now this structure I can rewrite in the bond line notation. In the bond line notation I can rewrite this structure as I can rewrite the structure as a bond line notation where the carbon hydrogen bonds are not shown. So this is the bond line notation, and the numbering for this is also 1 2 3 4 5 6. This is Kekulé structure. Okay, the objections for this, let's go with objections. There were two main objections which have to be overruled. The first objection, objection number 1, that is existence of two ortho products. Okay, now if the benzene ring is supposed to be correct, the benzene ring, the structure of the benzene which is proposed by Kekulé is correct, then ortho product, I just now told you ortho product means what. So I'll just go for substitution number 1. I'll suppose I react with the electrophile E, then you will get the first product, that is this. Okay, now if you go for one more substitution, then if I go for ortho product, then ortho product will be here this, because 1 2 substitution is ortho product. So adjacent carbon atoms are having the two substituents, then it is called as ortho product. Okay, now here as the benzene is numbered like this in Kekulé structure, then I will call it as 1 2 ortho product. It is 1 2 ortho product. However, since the numbering in Kekulé's benzene structure is given like this, I can write one more benzene structure. I can write one more ortho product, that is again a hexagonal ring, double bonds as shown by the Kekulé, and adjacent carbon atom in this time I will take this, and as Kekulé proposed, this numbering will be 1 2 3 4 5 6. Then this is ortho product only because the adjacent carbon atoms are having the substituent, but this will be 1 6 ortho product. So the Kekulé structure which was proposed, according to this, there should be two ortho products possible. It has to overcome that. He has to overcome that objection. Okay, to overcome this objection, what he said is that, okay, this is my first benzene ring structure, that is Kekulé is saying this. This double bonds are continuously changing the positions, and one more possible structure would be that double bonds are changing the position. So the positions of the double bond are, so double bonds are under continuous oscillation, Okay, this is proposed, this is said by Kekulé, and he gave two structures, and he gave two Kekulé structures now, Kekulé structure 1, Kekulé structure 2. And here in Kekulé structure 1, if you just check, I number it as 1 2 3 4 5 6. Then I can number this accordingly. The IUPAC system, it should be numbered as 1 2 3 4 5 6. Then you see position number 6 and position number 2 are identical. That means the 1 and 2 ortho product, 1 2 ortho products become same as 1 6 ortho product. And this is the analogy proposed by Kekulé to overcome this objection number 1. So objection number 1 is overcome by saying that benzene has got 3 double bonds, and these 3 double bonds are continuously changing, and there are two possible structures for benzene. This is Kekulé structure 1 and Kekulé structure 2, and therefore position 1 and 2 are same as position 1 and 6 according to IUPAC system, and that's why there are no two ortho products, there is only one ortho product. Only the problem is with numbering, and that can be solved by considering that the double bonds are in continuous oscillation, that is they are continuously changing their positions, and when the double bonds change their positions, numbering pattern change, and 1,2 position becomes 1,6 position. This is objection number 1, and objection number 1 overcome by Kekule. Now objection number 2. If you see objection number 2, see, we have already seen in the beginning that it failed to give bromine water test and Bayer's test. Kekule structure of benzene, you see, either it is now modified one, either it is this structure which is continuously changing into another structure, that is this structure. So Kekule structure, but Kekule structure has got 3 carbon-carbon double bonds. That means it should be unsaturated. According to the rules, it should be unsaturated. But it failed to decolorize bromine water and Bayer's test. It failed to give the failed to decolorize bromine water. It failed to decolorize bromine water and Bayer's reagent, that is alkaline KMnO4 solution. Alkaline KMnO4 solution. So this is a question which is put on Kekule, and Kekule could not explain it. But this objection can be overcome by considering the resonance concept, also known as mesomeric effect. Resonance or mesomeric effect, and that we shall see in the next part. Now according to resonance, whenever, that you have learnt already in the previous unit, that is unit number 12, organic chemistry, some basic principles and techniques, whenever a compound has more than one structure, as you see, these are the Kekule structure 1 and 2, A and B. Then what resonance says, that none of them are the actual structures. None of them are actual structures. None of them are actual structures. Actual structures. That is, they are simply known to be as contributing structures or canonical structures. Contributing structures or canonical structures. Contributing structures or canonical structures. So the Kekule structure A and B are simply contributing structures or canonical structures, and the actual structure is the hybrid, also known as resonance hybrid, of all the contributing structures, that you have already learnt in the previous unit. So benzene is neither structure A nor structure B, it is the resonance hybrid. It is the resonance hybrid structure C, where you see double bond is continuously changing the position. Therefore a ring is written, maybe a dotted ring or a complete ring, which indicates that there is always the movement of double bond and triple bond, double bond and single bond. They are continuously moving, and this is the resonance hybrid structure. And this, if you just check, then this resonance hybrid structure is the correct structure for benzene. This is the correct structure of benzene. Why? Because the objection number 2 is that it is not decolorizing the bromine water and not decolorizing the alkaline KMnO4. That can be easily be understood if you just check the carbon-carbon bond length. You see the carbon-carbon bond length which is there. The carbon-carbon bond length which is there in benzene is 1.39 picometers, and whereas in alkanes, if I just take carbon-carbon single bond is 1.54 picometers, and in alkenes double bond is 1.34 picometers. So a carbon-carbon bond in benzene is neither alkene type, that is double bond, nor alkyne type, that is single bond, alkane type. It is neither alkene nor alkane, but it is in between that of alkene and alkane. In between that of alkene and alkane. And that objection number 2, that is why it is not decolorizing the bromine water and alkaline KMnO4, is overcome if you consider the hybrid structure of benzene. And this completes the structure of benzene, that is Kekulé structure of benzene, supported by the resonance. So we can write structure of benzene, either the first structure where either we can write structure A, structure B. The most correct structure would be structure C, which is a resonance hybrid. And this is about the Kekulé structure of benzene. So therefore, according to Kekulé and resonance, structure of benzene is either structure 1 or structure 2 or structure 3. This is the hybrid structure, which is the most accurate structure. Hybrid. This is the most accurate structure. These are contributing structures. Okay, they are contributing structures. Now these are identical contributing structures. Okay, now if I just find out, suppose the energy of the contributing structure is EC and energy of hybrid structure is EH, then the difference that is EC minus EH, that is the difference in energy between the energy of the hybrid structure and the contributing structure for benzene, it is 150 kilojoules per mole. So that indicates that hybrid structure has got 150 kilojoules energy less than the contributing structure. Therefore hybrid structure is found to be more stable than the first one, that is the contributing structure. So we oftenly use the hybrid structure for writing benzene, which is most appropriate structure. Now how these structures are arrived, that can be explained using the orbital picture. that you have learnt in chemical bonding, and that we are going to use it. So before that I will just clean the screen. Okay, so orbital picture of benzene we shall see. So these are the Kekule structures. So these are Kekule structures. And this is resonance hybrid structure. Okay, now how these structures can be has arrived actually. For this we have to use a concept of hybridization. We have to use a concept of hybridization. Now it is known that every carbon atom in the benzene ring is sp2 hybridized. sp2 hybridized. So for sp2 hybridization, okay, for sp2 hybridization what I have to do is that carbon atom atomic number is 6, so configuration would be 1s, 2s and 2p. So the ground state configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p2. So excited state configuration would be 1 electron from 2s jumps to 2p, 1 electron from 2s jumps to 2p, and the configuration would be 1s2, 2s1, it is 2px1, 2py1, 2pz1. px1, 2py1 and 2pz1. So here it should undergo sp2 hybridization. That means one s orbital should mix with two p orbitals and it should undergo sp2 hybridization. Okay, it should undergo sp2 hybridization. Now that will left over with one 2pz orbital with one electron, with all the carbon atoms. Now let us write the Kekule structures. Let us try to arrive at the Kekule structure. Okay, now every carbon atom is sp2 hybridized, means structure is trigonal planar. And there will be three orbitals which are shown like this, sp2 hybrid orbitals which are trigonal planar, and that you have learnt in chemical bonding. So for this, if I have to write carbon benzene, then for benzene I will write first carbon. Okay, I will just write the carbon atoms 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Okay, 6 carbon atoms. So every carbon atom is sp2 hybridized, therefore sp2 hybrid orbital 1, sp2 hybrid orbital 2, sp2 hybrid orbital 3. So this sp2 hybrid orbital adjacent overlap sideways, and we have got one sigma bond. Check. The adjacent sp2 hybrid orbitals will overlap, and we have got sigma bond. Check. And this one. Okay, so head on overlap, and that gives one p orbital, one sp2 hybrid orbital intact on every carbon atom. So this is the hybridization. So we have got one carbon carbon single bond, we have got carbon carbon single bond, carbon carbon single bond. So if I want, I can just show this is carbon carbon single bond. It has formed, carbon carbon single bond. It has formed carbon carbon single bond. Okay, now one more thing, the 1s orbital of hydrogen will overlap with 1s orbital is spherical, so 1s orbital of hydrogen will overlap to form carbon hydrogen sigma bond. It forms carbon hydrogen sigma bond. So like this it happens on every carbon atom. It happens on every carbon atom. It happens on every carbon atom. It happens on every all 6 carbon atoms. Okay, so this is carbon hydrogen sigma bond, carbon hydrogen sigma bond, carbon hydrogen sigma bond, carbon hydrogen sigma bond, carbon hydrogen sigma bond. So this is what is hybridization, it will tell us. But with this, on every carbon atom there should be one 2pz orbital intact, which is, this is now sp2 hybridization means planar structure. So that 2pz orbital should be perpendicular to on every carbon atom. They should be perpendicular on every carbon atom. So for that, what I'll do is I'll just show the structure. So what I'll do is I'll just clean this out. Okay, I'll clean this out. Okay, so now, so this structure is an hexagonal string, hexagonal structure. Better I'll write it in a different way. So this is a hexagonal structure. Okay, I'll write it a bit bigger. Hexagonal structure. Okay, so we have an hexagonal structure. Let me write it again. Okay, so hexagonal structure I have written, and that is attached to hydrogens. So I have drawn 2 hexagonal structures here, and these are the hydrogen atoms. Okay, hydrogen atoms are attached. Let me take this a bit slightly this side. Okay, so hydrogen atom is attached. See, a trigonal structure is maintained, that's why the bonds are shown like that. Okay, now each carbon atom is having an sp2 hybrid orbital that I can show by like this. Every carbon atom has got one sp2 hybrid orbital. Every carbon atom has got one sp2 hybrid orbital, and that I can show like this. This is sp2 hybrid orbital. So for this also I will show. Okay, now we can write the first structure of benzene, that is Kekulé structure of benzene. Just check. You know, the pi orbitals, pi bond is formed by sideway overlap of atomic orbitals. Pi bond is formed by sideway overlap of atomic orbitals. Therefore, the first possibility which can give you Kekulé structure number 1 is that here these pi orbitals can overlap. This pi orbitals can overlap, these pi orbitals can overlap sideways, and as a result I will get a structure of benzene as you see. This is a double bond here because sideway overlap, a double sideway overlap here, a double bond here. So if you want I can change the ink, a double bond here and sideway overlap, a double bond here. This is Kekule structure number 1. And in this case what can happen is, instead of these overlaps I will take sideway overlap here 1, sideway overlap 2 and sideway overlap 3, and this sideway overlap leads to formation of Kekule structure number 2. That is here you see the sideway overlap is like this. So Kekule structure 1 and 2 is possible. Kekule structure 1 and Kekule structure 2 are both possible. Kekule structure 1 and Kekule structure 2 both are possible structures. Okay, so Kekule structure 1 and Kekule structure 2, both structures are possible structures. I have just decreased the size of this. So Kekule structures are possible. Now the resonance hybrid also can be written. Resonance hybrid structure also can be written. You know, resonance hybrid means you have got a 6-membered ring and a cycle. How to do that thing? How to do that thing? That also can be done. For this what I'll do is I'll just redraw the diagram again. Okay, now here I have just copied the hydrogen here. Okay, now just check. Now here the overlap I can show here. In this structure I have shown the overlap between these two. In this I have shown the overlap between these two. Here it is no restriction that the overlap should take place between the respective pi orbitals only. Here the overlap take place in all overlap. The sideway overlap is possible in all the pi orbitals, and you see what I am getting here. I am getting a 3D. I am getting a structure where the pi electrons are above and below the green colored benzene ring, and this is a ring structure, ring current, because all the pi electrons have been overlapped, and that is why we can write a circle. Circle indicates that all the pi electrons have overlapped, and this is a hybrid structure. This is structure number 2, and this is the hybrid structure of benzene. Hybrid structure of benzene, that is you have got this structure just like we can say an example if I want to give, then I will say this is like okay, bun pav. The two pav, you just take two pav, the bun pav you can say, or you can take a burger. The two buns in the burger, the two buns are the pi electron clouds which are shown with the red color in my diagram, and the cheese slice which is there inside the two burgers, we have a slice of cheese or some stuffing. That stuffing is the benzene ring. That stuffing is a 6-membered hexagonal ring with hydrogen atoms attached to it, and that is the actual structure of benzene, which is called as the hybrid structure of benzene. And this is how we can explain the structure of benzene using orbital overlap, or what is known as the hybridization concept. That's it for today's class. This completes the structure of benzene. So in today's class we have gone through what is known as the aromaticity and how to apply the aromaticity to the molecule applying Huckel's rule. Then we have seen Kekulé structure, the objections on the Kekulé structure, how they are overcome, the objections were overcome, and then finally how the structure of the benzene actually appears based on hybridization, based on orbital overlaps. We have seen that. And that's it for today's class. In the next class, that will be my last class probably, where we will learn the reactions of benzene. Thank you. I'll stop here.